One day after the Roman Anthony call-up, we got a lot more to talk about. Today we're going to talk about the Justin Slaten injury news, and we're going to recap the Red Sox 3-1 win over the Rays, a lot of which is in part to Roman Anthony. But before we get into that, we are less than 20 subs away from our goal of 2,200 subscribers here on the channel. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. We bring you daily Red Sox videos, short form recaps after every single game, the second the game ends, and then the latest and greatest news and rumors. We're going to talk about the trade deadline today and a report from Jon Heyman about the Red Sox not being sellers at the deadline. We are going to be live for the 2025 trade deadline, so don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button, join the family, and don't miss a moment. All right, we're going to talk about the trade deadline here in a second, but let's talk about Justin Slaten first. This was probably the most consequential news that we got yesterday from Alex Cora. He had a bunch of injury stuff, one being that Wilyer Abreu, they expect him to be back right when his IL stint expires, which I believe is at the beginning of the San Francisco series. So what does that mean for Roman Anthony in the outfield? Craig Breslow actually spoke yesterday before the game, and he said, the big three are here, so now it's time for them to develop at the next level. So it doesn't sound like any of them are going to get sent back down to AAA. So that's actually good news. I was actually a little bit worried about that. But let's talk about Justin Slaten. That was the most concerning news of the day. And it looks like Slaten's going to be out a little longer than we thought. He's got I believe it's a shoulder. Let me confirm that. I believe it's shoulder inflammation, yeah. So apparently he has not been reacting well to treatment, and it just has not been going well. Here is a longer quote from Alex Cora about it as a whole. He said, "It's slower than we expected. Let's put it that way. He has not thrown yet. He hasn't reacted to the treatment the way we expected. We're in the slow process now. It's a big loss. You start looking at what we've been doing bullpen-wise in the last month. We've been throwing the ball great. It's great usage, and now some of the guys are feeling it without Justin Slaten. Obviously, it's a big loss, just like last year when we lost him and Chris Martin. Hopefully, it's just something that we can figure out in the upcoming days and get him going. But right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be soon that he's available." This is bad news for the Red Sox injury-wise, because you could have used him 2 nights ago. Desperately, when you had to bring in Zach Kelly in the 11th inning. Imagine if that was Justin Slaten in the 11th inning instead. You would have felt a million times more comfortable, but that is the world that we live in. Justin Slaten is hurt. He's not reacting to his rehab well, and it's not great. However, reinforcements might be on the way. Zach Penrod, Chris Murphy, Giovanni Moran are all in rehab assignments right now and could, in the next few weeks, get time. So, not great because Slaten is one of your best high-leverage relievers, but there might be some reinforcements on the way soon. But it's never good, especially with how taxed this bullpen is. We will talk about the game here in a minute and how really great that this game was for the bullpen resting. But yeah, not great news at all if you are concerned about the bullpen. And that's what I'm going to ask you. Let me know down below in the comments. What is your confidence level in the Red Sox bullpen as it stands right now? Scale it on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being this is the worst bullpen in baseball. They blow every single save. 10 being this is the greatest bullpen in the history of baseball. They will never blow a save. This bullpen is locked down. You let me know down below in the comments. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So you're going to get hit with an ad break here in a second. Don't click off the ad. Let the ad play. It helps us here at the Red Sox Rundown. And while the ad plays, go down and answer the question for me. All right, let's talk trade deadline now. Jon Heyman was on MLB Network a few days ago, and he had quite a few nuggets around the Red Sox in particular that I thought were very, very interesting. The first one being this. This is a quote from Jon Heyman. He said, "The Red Sox are another team that certainly does not want to sell. Big market team. Should be better than this. I believe in Alex Cora, but it's a very young team with a lot of rookies. 3 different rookies have started in the cleanup, and they definitely have some pieces if they do decide to sell. Jarren Duran is a guy who is very, very sought after with his 743 OPS. So it's interesting. He said that if they fall off, they could sell, but they desperately do not want to sell. And that is why, and I've echoed this time and time again, this week that we are currently in is so incredibly crucial, because you are either going to gain a lot of ground in the AL East or you are going to bury yourself at the bottom of the AL East. And that is a big deal, because the trade deadline is a month away, if that, and you need to prove to the front office now that you are a contender and not a pretender. Now, they've won 4 of their last 6. They've started to look good. The bats have started to come alive. There's a lot of good positives that we've seen. You finally have all of the big 3 up. Roman Anthony's on the roster. It's time to go. And so far, so good. In the 5 games they've played so far, the critical 5 games that they've played so far, they've won 3 of them. Would you have liked to win more of them? You probably should have won the game 2 nights ago against the Rays. You probably should be 4-1 in those 5 games. But alas, you are 3-2. You have a winning record. If you can win this series against Tampa Bay and you win the series against New York, you are sitting pretty and you are back in the driver's seat. Now, you'll still be like 6-7 games out, but that's way more attainable than 10, 11, 12 games out. So I believe Jon Heyman when he says that the Red Sox desperately do not want to sell, because he said it. They should be better. Most extra inning losses in baseball, most 1-run losses in baseball, most errors, most of all the statistics that are bad statistics, they lead in. They should be so much better than this on paper. And with Bregman potentially coming back soon, with Wilyer coming back, potentially getting reinforcements in the bullpen, and with the big 3 starting to hit and Trevor Story starting to hit, it's a very, very interesting conversation to be had. You let me know. Are the Red Sox buyers or sellers at the trade deadline? Predict it for me. Look into your crystal ball. Let me know. Type B in the comments if you think they're going to be buyers. Type S in the comments if you think they're going to be sellers. Let me know in the comments. I still think they're going to be buyers. I think they're going to... I'm overly optimistic about this team. I think they're starting to get into their groove. I think much like last year, right before the All-Star game, when they started getting hot and they started hitting, I think we're going to have that happen again this year. So hopefully that is happening, and they're going to be buyers at the deadline. I want this to be a competitive team. I do not want to give up on this team. I know that most of us called them dead 2 weeks ago when they got swept by Milwaukee. This is a crucial stretch. If they can come out unscathed, we're going to be cooking with gas. Now, if they are sellers, Heyman did talk about some names and some options. The 3 names that he mentioned by name were Jarren Duran, Walker Buehler, and Aroldis Chapman. The 3 names that I think have been brought up the most of any on the Red Sox. Here's what Jon Heyman had to say about Jarren Duran. He said, and this is mostly talking about the Padres aspect of this. He said, they've had interest, the Padres, for over a year now. One issue is that Fenway, is a great park for him. May not be quite the same player if he goes to Petco. But there would be a big interest in Jarren Duran if they decide to sell. So, and that makes a lot of sense. I think Jarren and his skill set works so well for Fenway Park. And if he moves to Petco, which is a very different left field, is he going to be the same player? I don't necessarily think he will. He thrives on hitting the ball the other way off the Green Monster. And if you go to Petco, you don't have that. And so I don't know if he's the best fit. And look, I wouldn't sell Jarren Duran. I've said this time and time again. I'd rather sell Wilyer. I would not sell Jarren Duran. But that's a rumor that's been brought up and something that's been talked about. But yeah, there's going to be interest in Duran. People are going to be calling about Duran if the Red Sox end up selling. I think that's just something that we have to come to terms with. I wouldn't do it, but it's the world that we live in. Jon Heyman also had this say, he said, they've got some pieces, but as I have said, even a few games under, they do not want to sell. So I think there are some intriguing names. Jarren Duran, Walker Buehler, Aroldis Chapman, all names, Lucas Giolito even, Wilyer Abreu, Ceddanne Rafaela, all very intriguing trade chips that could go at the deadline. But as Heyman is reporting, They desperately do not want to sell. I think they genuinely believe in the core that they have. They just haven't put it together. It's a young team that has made a lot of mental mistakes and a lot of mental errors. If you win half of the one-run games that you've lost, I couldn't even calculate it. You might be first place in the AL East. I'd have to go and calculate it. But if you won half of the one-run games that you lost, this team and the narrative around this team looks vastly, vastly different. They might be one of the best teams in baseball record-wise if that goes their way. Let's hope they can figure it out, because I don't want them to sell, and I know that no one else wants them to sell either. I want you to let me know in the comments, and then we're going to talk about the game here. Do you believe Jon Heyman? Do you believe Jon Heyman when he says that the Red Sox desperately do not want to sell? Type Y for yes in the comments if you think you do believe him, and for no if you do not. I believe him. I do think that Breslow, the front office, and Cora really like this core and like what this core is cropping up. They've gotten very unlucky with some injuries. You know, the starting pitching hasn't been great, and they've lost a lot of one-run games. So I still think that they have confidence in the core. I don't think they want to sell, but you let me know. Y for yes and for no. Do you think the Red Sox do not want to sell? Do you believe Jon Heyman? Let me know in the comments. Red Sox win 3-1. Quick game. How long was the game? 2 hours and 26 minutes. You absolutely love to see it. Only a few things really to talk about today. The offense wasn't great by any sense of the imagination. They struck out 13 times and only had 7 hits. But when the clutch at-bats came, they capitalized. And really, I'm not just saying this to say it. It really was the Roman Anthony show today. After a bit of a lackluster debut where the Red Sox lost in 11 innings, Roman Anthony showed up and showed out last night, including in the first inning a 2-run double for his first major league hit. Guys, the future's here. And after the quotes from Breslow yesterday, he's not going anywhere. And that was very awesome to watch. It was just awesome to watch. He also made up for the defensive error the night before by having an awesome sliding catch in the outfield to rob a hit in one of the later innings. And it was the Roman Anthony show. Anthony came through. Anthony showed why he is up here. Now, the rest of his at-bats, weren't great. He went 1 for 4. He only struck out 1 time. He's currently batting a 125 with a 472 OPS. But again, he's only had 2 games so far. That'll obviously even out. But he showed up when you desperately needed him. That's the clutch factor you have not had on this team for so long. And to have that now in the 5 spot is just a great feeling. The other run came on a Trevor Story home run. Great note from the post-game show as I was posting our short last night. That was his 4th consecutive multi-hit game. Story today went 2 for 4 with a run, an RBI, and 1 strikeout. I mean, I've been saying it, and I'm going to echo what I have said. Trevor Story, I think, is back. I don't think it's a fluke anymore. Like I said, 4 consecutive multi-hit games for Trevor Story. He's seeing the ball well. He's hitting the ball well. That home run he hit was 96 miles an hour, and we talk about it. He cannot hit velocity. 96-mile-an-hour bomb over the Green Monster. So great to see. If he can keep this up, this lineup is cooking with gas, because you've got Roman Anthony, Devers, Duran, all of them doing their thing. You've got Narvaez, and if you can get Anthony Story, you got Meyer and Campbell. This entire lineup looks a lot more dangerous if Trevor Story's hitting. And the fact that he is starting to find his groove is a really good sign for Red Sox fans and is a bad sign to the rest of Major League Baseball. The rest of the game was kind of a dud offensively. No one really did anything. Both of the rookies went 0 for 3 with a K each, Meyer and Campbell. So not much. Again, a very lackluster day offensively, but you found the runs when you needed to. And that is very, very important. Pitching-wise, it was fantastic. Lucas Giolito, who we're all very concerned about, but this is his MO. It's every other game. He has a great game, then he has a bad game, then a great game, then a bad game, then a great game, then a bad game. His last outing was a horrible game. So you knew he was going to come in and pitch well in this game, and he did. 6 innings, only 3 hits, 1 run, which was not earned, 3 walks, and 4 Ks. He was on tonight. He was commanding the zone well tonight. He looked really good, and that was exactly what you needed after the bullpen was incredibly depleted the night before, going 11 innings. And then the bullpen, you only used 2 relievers, and 2 relievers that did not go the night before. Garrett Whitlock gives you 2 perfect innings, no base runners, 3 strikeouts. He looked phenomenal tonight, which was great seeing. He's slowly been putting together a really good stretch since his, string of implosions. And then Greg Weisser closes it out and gets the save, a perfect ninth inning. This was an incredible team win for the Red Sox tonight that they desperately needed. It was not a big blowout bash, with a bunch of home runs. It was clutch hitting when you needed it and really solid, timely pitching. Great team win for the Sox last night, whatever. And a really awesome coming out party for Roman Anthony. Show some love to the Rook in the comments. He finally got his number 19. I know he was 38 for his debut, or 48 for his debut. Got his number of 19 tonight. The great Fred Lynn gave him the seal of approval on Twitter. It was absolutely awesome to see. Show him some love. Just spam the 19s in the comments. I cannot believe he is finally on this baseball team. Watching him tonight, seeing his family out there was awesome. It was a great night to be a Red Sox fan, and they got a key win that kept them in the race because the Yankees destroyed the Royals last night as well. If you would have lost that game and the Yankees would have won, that is a whole game back in the division that you would have had to make up that you couldn't. And that's why this Tampa Bay series, I think, is so, so critical. That's it, guys. Spam those 19s in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to be back tomorrow with another short and another video. So don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button. And until next time, let's go Sox.